Hey guys, welcome to Finland and welcome to my first drive video on Cupra's Formentor VZ5. I first heard about this car back in 2020 and whispers of it coming to the UK. Then last year in 21, it was definitely coming to the UK, but in left-hand drive format only. And only a few weeks ago, I found out it's actually not coming to the UK at all. But please leave your comments below and let me know if you think that this car would be a good idea in the UK. It wouldn't sell in massive numbers because it's left-hand drive only, and it would probably be circa 50 to 55,000 pounds. But when you consider that underneath it's essentially the new RS3 in the more practical Formentor package, well, for me it's a winner. And even though it would be left-hand drive only, I really think that it should come to UK shores. As you know, I really like the Formentor 310. If you haven't seen my video and review on that, there'll be a link to it up here somewhere. Can you imagine replacing that 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged unit with RS3's 2.5-litre 5-pot turbocharged unit? That's what's under here, producing 390 horsepower and 480 newton meters of torque. That's fed through all four wheels with the RS3's new trick torque splitter system. So it has drift mode, etc., which we will try out later on in the video. It's a really exciting package, and out here in Finland, although it doesn't represent UK roads and conditions, it's going to be great conditions to test out this car and that particular four-wheel drive system. Also, who doesn't love a 5-pot sound in snowy conditions? It harps back to the Quattro years of rallying. In terms of performance figures, well, Cupra claimed this would do the 0 to 62 sprint in just 4.2 seconds, which isn't bad for something this large and this practical. And in terms of styling tweaks over the regular Formentor, well, we have a slightly different bumper. We have some unique 20-inch alloy wheels. We have black door mirror caps. We have some diagonal quad exhausts around the back. And when you jump inside, well, you can probably just about see them from the camera there. You get some sexy carbon bucket seats, which are really nice, at least to look at. We'll explore what they're like once we're in the car. You also get some massive Akabono brakes on the front axle, 375mm discs, so we know it's going to go. We also know it should at least stop. Talking of that, let's get it out on the road, try it on a road section first, and then we'll come back to this private testing centre. Well, I've got a rally stage over there, and we'll switch everything off and have some fun. The first bit of this video is going to be on this private road stage. Well, I'm sure it is a road for a couple of months of the summer, but it's very much a rally stage at this time of the year. I'm actually starting off in the default comfort setting, so I'm in auto. I've got all the traction aids and stability aids switched on, and the first thing I'll talk about is the driving position. Unfortunately, these amazing seats that are very comfortable seem to compromise the driving position a little bit. I feel like I'm sitting a bit higher than in the regular Formentor 310, let's say, and I think that has to do with the base of these seats. It kind of reminds me a bit of the most recent generation of the Focus RS with those, I think it's Recaro buckets and that. It's not as bad as that driving position, but it certainly feels like it's compromised to me. In terms of everything else, well, ride quality, this has got DCC, dynamic chassis control, the same system that's in, you know, the Golf GTI, the Golf R. It's a Volkswagen Group system. And in comfort, well, it feels good, but I can't talk about ride quality out here. This is not a UK surface. Snow places like this tend to be very smooth anyway, with the odd occasional hard bit of ice and bump, so it feels nice and fluid. But I know from driving a Formentor 310 back in the UK that the ride quality is fantastic, even on the bigger, I think they're 20-inch wheels. It feels very good, and in comfort and with all the traction aids switched on, it's very safe up to a certain point. Yesterday I managed to put a Cupra Born into a snowbank, and the reason I did is because you can't, well, this is my racing driver excuse, is because you can't turn the traction control completely off on those. So when you get into a moment of understeer, let's say going through this right-hander now, when you realise you're understeering, in a rear-wheel drive like the Cupra Born, if you could just pick up the throttle a little bit, you could get out the corner without sort of nosing off into the snowbank. But unfortunately I couldn't, and when I picked the throttle up, it actually made the understeer worse, and I end up just slipping off the side of the road. In terms of the rest of the cabin, well, I suggest you watch my original Formentor video where I go into more detail in terms of like cabin or interior space, infotainment, which is definitely a weak point on these cars. It's not the best system, very similar to what you get in the Mark 8 Golf. It's buggy, it is distracting to use, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. The instrument binnacle is sort of Seat or Cupra's very own virtual cockpit, if you like, and that works really well. And I really like one of the 6 displays that they offer you. Big rev counter in the middle with a digital speedo readout in the middle of that, and a couple of digital displays either side that you can customize. So I really like that setup, and I really like this wheel as well. You've got everything you need on here. You've got your drive selecting mode button, you've got physical buttons as opposed to those haptic buttons that are on the Born, so you tend not to touch them too much by accident. In fact, I'm going to turn my steering wheel heating on now because it's a little bit chilly outside, and always feels nice when you've got your seat heating on and your steering wheel heating on. Talking of seat heating, well, these seats are heated, so although they're quite, let's say, focused seats, they still have heating elements in them, which is pretty cool and pretty handy on a day like today. So yeah, overall first impressions as a car on a snowy rally stage, well, it feels great. You can't hear any of that, even if I put my foot down, you can't really hear any of that 5-pot. It doesn't sound like the current RS3. You definitely don't get as much sound even in the normal modes. Okay, I've now put it into sport, and I've put the traction stability mode into ESC sport, so it allows a bit of slip. Instantly I feel that the chassis stiffened up a bit, so the suspension's a bit harsher, and the throttle response is a bit better. I think I can hear a little bit more of that 5-pot, but it's still not particularly loud. I think they sound better than the current RS3 on the outside, but ironically on the inside they're a lot quieter, which is confusing to me because the Formentor 310 and cars like the Golf R, so cars with that 2-litre 4-cylinder in it, well, they get this 5-pot sound piped around the cabin, which sounds okay, I guess, but then when you're in the actual 5-pot car, it's actually quieter in here than it is in one of those. But when you really get it going, hopefully the GoPro's picking some of that glorious and sonorous 5-pot up. Let's see if we've got some corners coming up and we can see what it's like, because fundamentally underneath it has the new RS3 torque splitter trick chassis. So in terms of driving dynamics, it should feel very similar, especially on a surface like this. Let's see if it will do a skid coming out of here in ESC Sport. I'm fairly confident it will. And remember, we're in Sport, we're not in Cupra, and we're not in torque splitter drift mode. All right, let's just give it a... Yep. Okay, so it does big skids, just like the RS3. I wasn't expecting that, actually. Remember, we're only in Sport and ESC Sport, so you wouldn't think it would allow you to have that much fun. But in the briefing this morning, they did say that unlike other, let's say, stability control systems, that when they're in their halfway house, they're really limited. Okay, you feel a little bit of extra slip, but with this, it will allow you complete freedom up to a certain point, and then it will start pulling you back, so you can get small angles going and it almost feels uninterrupted, which is great, because then you can have safe fun. But when you want to have more fun, you then put it into the Cupra mode and you turn everything off. You have to select it and then press OK. You're on your own, essentially. And you are on your own in this car when you switch everything off, unlike some other Volkswagen platform cars where Big Brother's always watching you. In this one, I mean, it's just demonstrate second gear on the floor. That's all four wheels spinning up there. Poor Tom Howard behind me just got a face full of snow. So yeah, when it's off in this car, it is fully off. And talking of that, we're now heading back to base where there's a private circuit, a handling circuit. So let's head there now. I'll switch the cameras off and you can join me there having proper fun in a completely contained and safe environment. As if by magic, we find ourselves on a private test track. Oh, so much fun. So I'm in drift mode now with everything switched off. And I must say, in the RS3, I found drift mode to be a little bit gimmicky and not particularly effective on the road. But out here, it just helps you rotate the car. It's just brilliant. Cupra, you need to bring this car to the UK. I don't care if it's left-hand drive. It's so much fun. Oh, what a car. I mean, I'm barely using any of its available power and torque. It's just lovely. It is just lovely. Okay, we now find ourselves on a really technical, icy, tight circuit. I mean, it really gives you an idea of what that trick torque splitter diff is doing. Through here is super slick, as you can probably see from the sun hitting the icy surface. You've got to be so patient. Get it one way, get it the other way, and then yes. Oh, so much fun. I wish I had one of these in my backyard. It's just awesome. Patience, get the nose in, pick the throttle up, it rotates, keep it away from the bank. No, just touch the bank. Again, this is just pure patience through here. Get that nose in, pick the throttle up, starts rotating, turn in, off the throttle. Again, don't let it go too far. Oh, lovely, lovely. Bring this car to the UK. Oh, these are little slides now, little slides, nice. And then massive angles, massive angles, massive. That's it, that's it. Yes, you did it! Woohoo! Oh. I think this would be a good time to wrap the video up. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed making it. And Cupra UK, if you're watching this, please, 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 please bring one of these to the UK. Oh no, no. Oh, anyway, I'll call time before I do any damage to the car. Oh, what a piece of kit. What an enjoyable time. Hopefully I'll get to drive one of these on tarmac one day, whether that would be in the UK or whether that will be somewhere in Spain or a country that actually will sell the VZ5. Thanks a lot for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you at the next video very, very soon. Cheers, guys. I'm going to be concentrating pretty hard, so...
One moment, please.
Yeah, definitely don't need you
Sorry?
talking to me.